Mr. Leung, I want to jump into that. And now you are, of course, saying that governments across the world are hesitant to release information because they want to avoid that panic. They want to avoid creating unnecessary hysteria. That, of course, is a legitimate concern. But at the same time, how do we draw that distinction between being hesitant in releasing information and blatant suppression of information?
The difference must be that when the full facts are not yet known, and as you said, it's legitimate for the government not to allow any kind of promulgation of partial facts, because partial facts are not the full facts. I mean, even if you swear it's the whole truth and nothing but the truth, but if you've got really partial information, that could be distorting the real picture. Now, but once more facts are known, then obviously it should be in the public domain as far as especially such a public health threat. Obviously, the more information there is, the better. Now, there is also another slant, another kind of dimension. It's a kind of speculation. It is a kind of finger pointing without knowing where this virus originated. Even though, of course, it is spread in Wuhan, everybody knows, and China admitted it. But where the fact that it is spread in Wuhan does not necessarily mean that the virus itself was started in Wuhan. It could be imported somewhere. So I think that the whole world should grasp the situation and really come to.
Right, Mr. Leung, that's a point I do not want to get into at this point in the discussion. Of course, that's an entire discussion on its own self. But Matthew, talking about what Mr. Leung mentioned, the case within China, the case in the United States. Now, transparency is being held as the main point, main factor, and main thing that governments need to ensure during handling this pandemic, so that the viewers know, so that people in their homes know what they're dealing with, so that we actually see the full extent. Have you seen similar patterns over Europe when it comes to governments undermining journalists and media houses from putting out information?
Absolutely. You've only got to look at Hungary to see that it's happening there. Journalists are being arrested or locked up for basically spreading what the government perceives to be misinformation. I think it's very dangerous for the government to determine what is and isn't misinformation, because it can lead to a long-term clampdown on freedom of speech. And that really worries me, especially in Hungary as well, where, according to that report you discussed earlier, it has fallen down that index already in terms of being the most transparent for information.